I see change.
Alright, bottles on me, long as someone drink it, never drop the ball. Fuck it, y'all.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today, next up on the list, we have the Carolina Hurricanes. So let's get started. Left wingers, Jeff Skinner, Sebastian Aho, Joakim Nordstrom, Brock McGinn, and Philip DiGiuseppe. So Jeff Skinner really had a crazy breakout year. I think he had 30-something goals. He might have had 35 goals. He really had a great year on a Carolina team that, started really playing good hockey at the end of the year. Sebastian Aho showed what he could do last year. He's a great prospect. He's a sniper. He's a goal scorer. He's a great prospect. Kind of like a Jeff Skinner Jr. if you think about it. But Joakim Nordstrom's a good depth guy. I don't know much about him. Brock McGinn, same with him. Philip DiGiuseppe has some potential, but more of like a depth guy as well. Centers, Jordan Staal, Victor Rask, Darren Ryan, Marcus Kruger, Josh Doris, and Alexi Sarella. And Nicholas Roy, I'll put him in there also. So Jordan Staal, I mean, if your first line center is Jordan Staal, that's not the greatest thing in the world, but yeah, he didn't have that good of a year. He's still one of the best two-way forwards in the game, but offensively, I don't know, and he's definitely not a first-line center. He's a second-line center, but Victor Rask is a guy who can eventually take over if he can live up to his potential. He has the potential of becoming a first-line center and taking over Jordan Staal's role. Derek Ryan, I don't know much about him, but, a depth guy. I don't think he's that old, is he? Marcus Kruger, who they just got from Chicago. Who they got from Vegas from Chicago. Marcus Kruger, they just got him for depth, trying to make the playoffs. Get a guy like Marcus Kruger never hurts. He's won cups, so he has experience. Josh Joris, pretty much the exact same player. He's a depth guy, stuff like that. Alexi Sarella and Nicholas Roy are two really good center prospects for the Hurricanes that can end up being top 6 players if they can live up to their potential. Right wingers, they signed Justin Williamson. Did I just say Justin? Oh my god. Justin Williams. They have Elias Lindholm, Teuvo Teravainen, Lee Stepniak, Julian Gauthier, and Valentin Zykov. So, Justin Williams, obviously a great playoff performer. He's a good guy to have to mentor the young kids in Carolina. Elias Lindholm's a guy he still has a lot of prospect. He was drafted really high, I think, in the top 7. Obviously a really good prospect. Lindholm can end up being a first-line right winger, definitely. Teuvo Teravainen, another guy who was drafted pretty high. He'll probably be playing third line for the Hurricanes. He can score goals, so he'll be fine there. Lee Stepniak, he's a really good player. He's really, really underrated. I'm surprised he's going to be playing fourth line for the Hurricanes. Julian Gauthier and Valentin Zykov. Julian Gauthier is he's a power forward. He's pretty good. I don't know too much about him, but I know he's good. Julian Gauthier, Valentin Zykov. He's a sniper. He's also a good prospect. I don't know if he has as high potential as Gauthier, but I think he's pretty good still. Defenseman, their best defenseman is Justin Falk. Justin Falk's obviously a really good defenseman. He's elite. He's really good. Jacob Slavin, they just signed to a big deal, $5.3 million for 7 years. So he's a good defenseman. He's super underrated, everyone says. Brett Pesce's also really underrated. He's young. They have a really young defensive core. If Noah Hannafin's your fourth best defenseman, you have a good defensive core, which he is. So obviously Hannafin, super high potential, and hopefully live up to that. They got Trevor Van Riemsdyk, who's a really good top 6 guy for defense. Yeah, Hayden Fleury, a guy who was drafted really high, has a lot of potential. Klaas Dahlbuck, I don't know much about him. I think he's like a 7th guy, and Ron McCowan has some potential. He's a prospect. Goalie, Scott Darling's their best goalie. I think Darling's always been an amazing backup, so if he could just, take it to the next step and become a starter, he can definitely do good things. And Cam Ward, obviously, he used to be really, really good, and he kind of slowed down. Jeremy Smith's a backup goalie, and Alex Nedeljkovic, I don't know how to say his name, and Callum Booth, they're both really good goaltending prospects. I'm surprised they have 2 of them. So Carolina, this team, I could definitely see them making the playoffs. They're a sleeper team. They have a really young team, and if they could just gel together, they have a lot of really young prospects, and their defensive core is outstanding. So if they can just gel together and, have a good year, all these young guys, you could see a future Carolina dynasty in the future, especially with that top 4. Falk, Slavin, Pesce, Hannafin, and you have Hayden Fleury coming up. That's crazy. So hopefully things work out for the Hurricanes, because they've been the laughingstock of the NHL for a little bit now since their 05 Cup. Hopefully they can turn things around, and they have a really young team, and the future is bright for the Carolina fans, and I think they'll make the playoffs. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys next time.